Karrion Kross is the new NXT champion. What a finish, what a main event, a pretty good show tonight, NXT TakeOver 30. Before I get into the review, if you enjoy NXT, if you like NXT, if you like wrestling content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, making plenty of wrestling content continuously, with that out of the way, NXT TakeOver 30, this show, this main event, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, what a match. Now, it wasn't going to be a 5-star work rate classic. It was the Unstoppable Force versus the Immovable Object, one of those matches. Keith Lee coming in champion. Just what a match. Like, this thing was everything I and many of you wanted it to be. It was just two behemoths going at it. Keith Lee, throughout the match, was selling, the arm, because he, got the arm rammed into the plexiglass early in the match, so you had Karrion Kross controlling Keith Lee. All of that was really good. The match itself, it just felt super important. It felt like a must-see fight, that's the thing. If you didn't see this match, if you didn't see this Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross main event, I'd definitely go check it out. Karrion Kross controlled a lot of the match, as you'd expect, wearing down Keith Lee's arm, like you see a picture of it here. He's wearing down the arm, he's working over Keith Lee, he locked in his sleeper hold at one point. Keith Lee's arm was in, I thought he'd lose there, but they had Keith Lee come back to life. They had Karrion Kross, about to hit his suplex move, which would have put Keith Lee away, but Keith Lee kicked out. Keith Lee showed fight. He showed more fight than Ciampa did or anyone has, but in the end, Karrion Kross won the NXT Championship, so big finish. Where they go from here, I don't know. Who are you going to have Karrion Kross defend the title against? I assume a rematch versus Keith Lee, potentially on an NXT episode in 4 weeks, 6 weeks down the line. Maybe Karrion Kross versus Dexter Lumis. Karrion Kross versus perhaps a Tommaso Ciampa, maybe a Kevin Owens. Where to from here? That's the kind of thing I'm thinking, because I don't know who else Karrion Kross can defend the title against. So that's that. Hopefully Keith Lee moves up to the main roster. Awesome main event. That was the big talking point to the show. And the other big talking point was this man right here, Pat McAfee. This dude absolutely showed out tonight versus Adam Cole. Personally, I loved Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole. I thought Pat McAfee, he's legit. He's entertaining. He's 20 times better than Braun Strowman is. And in that regard, I think Pat McAfee should be Universal Champion, because compared to Braun Strowman, Pat McAfee is entertaining. He was talking a lot of trash during this match. McAfee, one thing I found is how McAfee wrestles. He doesn't wrestle one of these styles the indie midgets, so to speak, nowadays. We have a lot of flashy moves, a lot of moves which are essentially ineffective and lack ring psychology. Pat McAfee fights like many of you would. He punches someone if you need to punch. He kicks people if you need to. He punts people. He does basic wrestling moves. He doesn't need 412 technical indie submissions to be a good wrestler. Pat McAfee showed out tonight. He even hit a swanton dive, which was super impressive. He did a springboard backflip off the top rope and landed on his feet. McAfee showed out. Adam Cole won, but Pat McAfee was a star tonight. So that was that match. Next talking point, the NXT North American Championship ladder match. This match, the main thing that we should care about is that Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark, did not win the match, because I swear to God, I said this on Twitter, if this match took place in an arena with legitimate fans, like a regular wrestling arena, then Velveteen Dream would have had the same amount of heat tonight as Cena did at ECW One Night Stand 2006. It would have been volatile. The whole thing's a mess. Velveteen Dream did not win, thank God. Damian Priest won, which it's awesome he won, because it gave us that picture later on in the night of Triple H doing the classic Triple H finger point as Damian Priest in the spa with two girls in bikinis and whatnot. That was hilarious. That's just classic Damian Priest. He's awesome. It's cool to see he won the North American Championship. If Cameron Grimes or Velveteen Dream won, wouldn't have been happy, but yeah, Damian Priest won. Ladder match was good. I didn't really get into it much because Velveteen Dream was in the match, so that was that. Then we had the NXT Women's Championship, Dakota Kai versus Io Shirai. I don't think there's too many surprises in the fact that Io Shirai defeated Dakota Kai to retain the championship. I don't think many people legitimately thought Dakota Kai would win. I thought she was a chance, but it doesn't surprise me that Io won. The match was good. It wasn't a 5-star Bayley versus Sasha Banks women's all-time classic or anything, but for what it was a fine match. It's a match that, it was better than Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher, in my opinion. That match I didn't really care for that one, but yeah, Io Shirai retained. Then afterwards, we got a pretty interesting visual. We had this, where Rhea Ripley emerged. So, potentially Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai coming up next, which that's the match that makes sense. I think Rhea Ripley, however you want to say it, winning the NXT Women's Championship is the next move to go, and then Io Shirai can move on to face maybe Asuka for like the Raw Women's title or something. I don't know where they're going to go, but Rhea came out, and then we had Rhea get into a face-to-face with Raquel Gonzalez, so they're going to probably do this on NXT in like 2 weeks or something. Should be fine. Probably going to get Rhea Ripley versus Dakota Kai in another number one contenders match, and then Rhea's going to probably beat Io Shirai at the next takeover. That's what I think they're going to do. That's what would make sense, so that was good how they did that. And the women's title match was good. So that's like literally the main stuff to care about. The rest of the show, the other matches, they threw Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher onto the card like 2 days ago. I don't think anyone was legitimately really caring. Like, wrestling Twitter was pretty dead during this match. No one was really up and about. Finn Balor beat Timothy Thatcher, continuing Balor's takeover, like, winning form. Like, Balor's lost at, one takeover? Like, Balor hardly ever loses a takeover. He won here. Balor's pretty much irrelevant at this point. I don't care about him. Most people don't. So, Balor beat Thatcher. Was what it was. That was like the main show, and then on the kickoff show, or the pre-show, whatever, they had this match where Breezango won a triple threat tag to become the number one contender to the tag title. So that was NXT TakeOver 30. Overall, I'd say it was a pretty good show. If you watch this show start to finish, you won't be bored. There were some pretty good matches. I'd say the match of the night, in my opinion, was probably Kross and Lee. Like, aesthetically, it probably wasn't the highest rated star match, but I thought as a match, it was the most captivating. So, really enjoyed it. That was NXT TakeOver 30. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, on the drill. See ya.